Hi, I'm Danny Gasparini, and welcome to this segment of Penn Voice. I am joined by Kerry Lobel, who's the Executive Director of Puente. And Kerry, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I would like you to explain to our audience what Puente is first.
That's a really good question. I think we're, in some respects, the county's best kept secret. We serve the South Coast communities of Pescadero, La Honda, Loma Mar, and San Gregorio. It's a very rural, isolated, 160 square mile area, and basically we're the one-stop shop for any service that people might need, from a fax to a Zumba class.
Okay.
From a farmer's market to a Spanish class to an ESL class. We do it all.
So how did you come about? I mean, just someone in your community saw a need and said, we need to sort of create this resource center.
Exactly right. Our founder was at that time a United Church of Christ pastor, and she sat at the steps of the Pescadero Community Church and saw this farm worker guy go by and waved to him, and from there Puente began as, really its name, a bridge between the Latino and Anglo community. And in 2007, we merged with a nonprofit that was a community resource center in our town. And so we became this organization that really moved from being primarily for farm workers and their families to a resource center that has offices in Pescadero and La Honda and serves a wide range of ages, community members, and provides a lot of different services because we're the only nonprofit in our whole region.
So I would imagine, given that very broad definition, you're, as you had said, you're sort of the catch-all, end-all. I mean, you see all of it. People, maybe you're the first place that people come. I can't imagine that you do every aspect of service, from health to job search to training to education. So do you work with other organizations then as referral sources or references?
Well, I wish we could, and actually we say that we provide services from womb to tomb, and they do range from childcare to healthcare to housing assistance to rental assistance to education classes to exercise. And we do a lot of networking with organizations in Half Moon Bay to the north. We have great county partners, but because of the lack of transportation in our area, people have to find the services where they live, and it's really given us the opportunity to grow our programs, involve volunteers in staffing so much of what we do, and really having to be innovative and creative to do a lot for a very rural community without a lot of resources.
So what would you say is the greatest need today in serving that community?
I think the greatest need today in serving our community is really twofold. How do we support local farm workers to make our region sustainable? That's why we hold a farmers market every week starting in June. But I think the other is really providing support for students in our school district who need mentors, who need tutors, who need support, as well as adults who really want to move from being farm workers to people that really have a more lucrative livelihood.
So you're working with farm workers. Any other, or I mean, does someone who is seeking your services need to be a farm worker, or can they be a family that's, working in the retail business? Or
they can be really anyone, and I always joke and say we're kind of the UPS store of Pescadero, because you can come into Puente and be me or you and get something notarized, get a copy, get a fax, use a phone. We're a unique program in that, because of our location and the agricultural belt of the South Coast, we really kind of marry food, farm workers, farmers, and people who love food, which is everyone. And so if you have any need, whether it's to send your kid to camp, regardless of your income, you need a service, you come to Puente, and we do our best to provide it, knowing that people are so isolated.
It makes your messaging sort of very easy in the sense that if you're in that geographic area and you need support, it's the first place to go. It's the first place to look up or visit, because at that point in time, whatever your needs might be taken care of right then and there, and within those four walls, or it might be a service that then can be handed and directed to at some point in time. So that's such a nice thing because people don't have to think, well, is that for me? Am I in the right place?
It's like call 411, call
Right,
Puente.
exactly.
Call 911, call Puente, call Puente, call Puente.
Right.
And I think it's been the challenge of our messaging over time that as we are entering our 16th year, is helping our own community understand that this is an organization that has grown its scope.
Right.
So it doesn't matter where you come from, who you are. Puente can be home for you.
Right.
If you need something, if you want to contribute your time or your money, or you just want a place that you feel connected to,
right?
Which is so hard to find. And
you started out in agriculture, and now you're in fitness. I was so excited to see that you're doing Zumba classes.
Program, yes, exactly right, is Zumba twice a week. It's a really diverse program, adults and kids, white and Latino, bankers and farm workers. Right. It's an amazing program. And why? Because it's fun, it's fitness, we provide childcare, and it provides an hour for people just to kind of blow off steam,
right.
create relationships. And as summer comes, we also create opportunities for people to get healthy food from local farms. We use that time to do health screening, health messaging.
Right.
So it's a great place to connect. I love it.
Yeah, and what I love about the program too is everything is interconnected. So while Zumba is great and it is fun and it's wonderful to come and, as you said, blow off steam, it really is serving a greater need, and that's one that we're all aware of with diabetes and type 2 diabetes and obesity today and lack of movement in children in schools
and hypertension,
right?
Absolutely.
So it's one of those things where it's great and it's fun and it's an opportunity, but there is really a big mission and a big vision in making sure that all of our families have access to not only fresh foods and whole foods, but to fitness and exercise.
Well, and I think what people don't necessarily realize is that apart from 911, the South Coast has no health care, and we've been working very closely with Supervisor Horsley and the health system to bring healthcare to the South Coast.
Right.
So by the end of this year, we'll be having a mobile van that's going to be living in the South Coast. So Zumba is a very important part of prevention, then being able to actually do intervention. What we hope is that we won't have the highest incidence of hypertension, obesity, and diabetes in our county, that would be able to really, make that go lower.
Right. And all from this one inception of, a thought 16 years ago.
Exactly.
I mean, who would have visioned this great community resource? So how can people get involved? What can we do?
Well, I think the first thing that we need is for people just to say, hey, do you know about this great group, Puente, on the South Coast? We're really looking for people who want to volunteer, and they can be an English speaker, a Spanish speaker, just even 1 hour a week to tutor a child, help at our farmers market, answer the phone, help with mailings.
And that would be at one of the resource centers in the two areas.
Right, either in Pescadero or La Honda. Of course, people can always contribute financially one time every month. But really what we're trying to do is build a community where people want to feel connected to something. So if people feel like that's what they want in their volunteering, in their giving, or in their daily life, we're really looking for people who want to build a relationship, either because they live on the South Coast or because that really appeals to them to be involved with an organization where they're seen, they're felt, they're heard.
Right.
So we'd love for people to give us a call, check out our website. We list our volunteer opportunities there, the events that we have, which are amazing.
Right.
We invite people to come and check us out.
Well, I would definitely want to go to the farmers market. I don't necessarily think about heading over the hill to the farmers market, but I will. I mean, it sounds like it's a great. I mean, are you going to do any Zumba for me?
Well, it's so interesting. We are opening our market. This is a 4th year of our market. It's every Thursday from 3 to 7 in downtown Pescadero next to the country store. We'll be doing some Zumba at the farmers market at the opening. But it's the most hyper-local, freshest farmers market food that you can buy, because the food that comes to our farmers market is picked that morning.
Wow.
So it's like Hollywood
it's still
produce.
Steaming.
It is. It's like happy lettuce.
Yes,
and it's a great community vibe, great activities for kids. Very sweet opportunity for people to come
Kerry,
see us.
thank you so much for joining me and telling us a lot more about Puente. We'll come out and see you soon. And thanks all of you for viewing us on Penn Voice, and we'll see you next time.